Hello and welcome to a book review by Warhammer 40k bookreviews.com. Today I'm gonna take a look at Atlas Infernal. While books such as Eisenhorn and Ravener have shown that the Imperial Inquisition can make for some great Warhammer 40k novels, it is still quite rare to find a 40k book that features an Inquisitor as the main character. Atlas Infernal is one of these rare books telling the story of Inquisitor Czevak as he weaves through a series of events that sees him up against one of the most powerful agents of chaos, the Thousand Sons sorcerer Ahriman, as well as the legendary Harlequin Elders. All this while using an ancient artifact stolen from the Black Library itself. If this brief summary seems almost too cramped with iconic 40k references, then that's actually a pretty good analogy to how I felt reading through Atlas Infernal. At the heart of it, there's a decently entertaining Warhammer 40k story to be told, and one that has a much different sense of pacing and tone than your normal Space Marine and grand battle focused tales, but it almost feels like the author was too eager to fill the book up with famous characters and figures in order to take the story to a more epic scale. Inquisitor Czevak is an old member of the Imperial Inquisition tasked with the destruction of anything that deviates from the strict rules of the Imperium. Being somewhat of a radical inquisitor, seeking not just to destroy heretical Xenos technology, but also to learn from it and use it for the good of the Imperium, he becomes obsessed with the ancient Eldar race of aliens. During an expedition to recover Eldar technology, the Inquisitor walks into an ambush set by the deadly Harlequins. And they're a lot more deadly than the name implies, just trust me. Members of a mythical elder warrior performer group. Again, they are a lot more dangerous than it sounds, alright? And they're also protectors of the hidden Black Library, which is a place where the Elder keep all knowledge of chaos and the warp that they have managed to collect during their long existence. Now, the Harlequins take Czevak to the Black Library, intending to imprison him inside the library as another exhibit. However, Czevak eventually manages to escape his confinement, and through the webway, which allows for faster than light travel without being numbed on by nasty demons looking for a fleshy snack, he makes his way back to his old interrogator, Clute, now a full rank Inquisitor himself. Armed with the knowledge that Czevak has gained in the Black Library, he sets out to foil the plans of Ahriman, a powerful chaos sorcerer from the traitor Space Marine Legion, the Thousand Sons, who plans to find the Black Library himself and use its power to ascend into godhood. All the while having to deal with pursuing troop of very upset warrior actors, which again, very, very dangerous. That want to bring him back to his imprisonment inside the Black Library. Now, as I touched on in the beginning, I found the story in Atlas Infernal to be fairly interesting. The core of Atlas Infernal is a detective story which sees Czevak trying to uncover the plot within plots that Ahriman has woven. This is punctuated with some smaller but intense action scenes when the shit inevitably hits the chainsword. I do, however, have two main problems with the story of Atlas Infernal. The first is that the author Rob Sanders has written the book with a lot of flashbacks. And while these flashbacks do serve to add some flavor and depth to Czevak and his motivation to stop the supreme naughtiness of Ahriman, they do feel a little unnecessary and are also somewhat confusingly written to the point that sometimes I had difficulty in trying to understand where the events fitted into the main story timeline. My other problem with the story is I feel that Sanders has been very eager to give 40k fans a story filled with important 40k characters and factions. Harlequins, the Black Library, Ahriman, the Inquisition, There's even a brief visit from the Grey Knights, all in one book. Any single one of these factions or characters would make a cool and meaningful subject, protagonist, antagonist for the book or even book series. And indeed, there's several of them already are. Putting them all together in one book kind of feels like hero Star Wars fan fiction where Darth Vader teams up with Darth Maul, Emperor Palpatine, and Sephiroth and fights Luke Skywalker and his team of Jedi Ninja Turtles on the surface of the Death Star. It's just a little too much and trying a little too hard to make itself feel important and grandiose. If you can forgive these two criticisms, then Atlas Infernal offers an experience that stands apart from the mainstream of Warhammer 40k books and adds some interesting details and insight into the workings of the Imperial Inquisition. I will recommend reading Atlas Infernal, but I think you have to be interested in reading a 40k book that is not filled with big battles and willing to forgive some of the mildly confusing pacing in the writing. If you can do that, and especially if you're a fan of the Inquisition, then definitely go ahead and have a read through Atlas Infernal. I give Atlas Infernal 3 out of 5 chainswords.